Hey guys, Quick Cruiser here. What the hell happened to my room? Well, at least I don't have to rank every level in Trap Team from worst to best. No. No. Well, it's been a very long time since I was meant to make this video, but I guess now we don't have much of a choice. So today, I'm going to be ranking every level in Skylanders Swap... Wait, no, sorry, wrong script. So today, I'm going to be ranking every Trap Team level from worst to best. I think it's fair to say that Trap Team is definitely one of the more beloved Skylander games. Not only does it bring some really cool new characters to the table, but also some really good levels. I also stream Trap Team every Sunday on my channel, so make sure to drop in and say hi if you have the chance. Just like Sparrow's Adventure, Trap Team has a large amount of levels, but none of them are very long. I guess Activision got some criticism on Swap Force's levels. And overall, these levels are all pretty good. Sadly, there are some levels that kinda just blend in the background and aren't memorable at all. But hey, the majority of them are very fun. As you all probably know by now, I'll be ranking these levels on a few different things. Platforming, level design, music, difficulty, originality, and so many more things. Make sure to comment down below what you think about my rankings, and with no further ado, let's get right into it. At number 18, as my least favourite level in Trap Team, we have Future of Skylands. Now this might come as a shock to some people because, even I'll admit, the Future of Skylands does nothing wrong. But my problem with the level lies in the fact that it doesn't do anything right either. This level is just so underwhelming and lackluster. There were a few half-decent mechanics involved, but they did absolutely nothing with this level's awesome theme. And of course, while Wolfgang is awesome, this level certainly isn't. Even some levels in this game that do things wrong aren't as bad as this level because at least they tried to be half interesting. This level's just boring. End of story. Up next is Rainfish Riviera. This level is visually appealing and I like the music, but apart from that, there is absolutely nothing to talk about here. This level stands out for how much it blends in. You just go from one area to another doing boring puzzles and pretty lame fighting with nothing really interesting going on. I think it's fair to say that drowning Mags is really the only highlight here. Also, you have to walk into the Leviathan's mouth. I could not think of a more scarier place to be. Do you like bland levels? Well, you're in luck, because up next is the Golden Desert. At first glance, everything about this level works. It's got some really catchy music, and it's also incredibly atmospheric. It really does feel like you're exploring a lost desert, but that's the problem. It's just a desert. This has got to be the most uneventful level in this game. Absolutely nothing happens until you reach the final area with that arena fight with the Golden Queen. You want sand? We got sand. You want enemies? Oh, we got some enemies. Oh, you want things to do in the level? Oh dear. The only memorable part of this level are those chompy worm turret sections, and they're not fun at all. There are some things to like here, but the level as a whole is incredibly lacking. Now on to the most painfully average level in this game, Operation Troll Rocket Steel. When I say average, boy I mean average. The entire level is literally just going down a straight line. Of course the level is built around this line, but it's still incredibly linear and it makes the level feel really boring. The only thing that's unique to this level is the combat. You see, whilst you could take them all down, there are a lot of enemies in this level, since, you know, pretty much the only thing you do in this level is fight. But what's pretty cool is that you can actually save Mabus that are stuck in cages and they will fight for you. You can even put one in a tank halfway through the level. You know, some of them may die, but their lives aren't important. But apart from that feature, this level is really as basic as they can get. It's not a bad level by any means. I did quite enjoy playing it, but it is so uninteresting in the visuals, music and platforming departments. But hey, the Mabu tank is pretty cool. At number 14 I have the final level in the game, the ultimate weapon. This level is okay. This level is not interesting in the slightest, but I think this was done for a reason. If you were too focused on the actual level, then you'd forget the reason that you're going through it, to fight chaos at the end. Really, the basicness of this level kinda makes it more intimidating, and it makes the intense build up to chaos even more exciting. So really, this level isn't all that great, but for a reason, so does that give it an excuse? Well, I'd say so, but even then, it's still near the bottom of my list. So moving on. Next up is Time Town. Now, at least from what I've heard, this level is one of the fan favourites, but I don't really know why. Maybe it's just me that doesn't see the appeal of this level. Sure, it looks nice and the platforming is, well, decent, but nothing here really stands out. It's not very memorable. One thing I definitely do like about this level is Crankcase's villain quest. What's cool about Crankcase's quest is that there are several of these puppet displays scattered across the level, and only Dr. Crankcase can break them open to find new secrets. I really like this feature, it's really unique, but for the rest of the level, not quite. The level just kinda starts and then finishes before you know it. There are no key moments and there's never anything interesting that you remember. Not a bad level, but I was really expecting more from it. Next up we have a little level I call Mystic Mill. While a lot of people probably looked at this level, played through it and thought, I'm actually quite fond of this level for one quite interesting reason. I would like to say that the level is visually uninteresting and has very basic platforming. But thankfully there is one saving grace for Mystic Mill. Straight after that turret section, when the level actually starts to get going, you have a small team of Mabus that follow you around. What's cool about these Mabus is that not only can they attack enemies, but you can also command them to build platforms that unlocks new areas. Sure, it doesn't get any more complex than this, but I still think it's a cool little idea. And this is why I like the level as much as I do. Because this is Pikmin. If you guys didn't know, Pikmin is the best game ever created. No takebacks. So the fact that Mystic Mill has very faint Pikmin elements means that I like it a whole lot more. Being able to command the Mabus to do whatever you want, I really like this. But apart from that little aspect, this level may as well not even exist, because it has so little impact to anything you do in the story. And thank God the Mabu can't drown. Ugh, the horror. At number 11, we have Telescope Towers. A lot of people do not like this level, and trust me, I do see where they're coming from. But there's something about this level that I find so mesmerizing. From the strange level theme, to the bizarre enemies you fight, to the weird jack-in-the-box things, and the eerie music that you hear when you play through. This level is really unique, and it stands out as one of the creepier ones in the series. That's not to say that there aren't some things in this level that I dislike. Shut up! The level has incredibly obnoxious secrets, and it isn't really that unique when it comes to the gameplay. They kinda just reuse the same assets, like the block puzzles and jumping on the buttons to activate platforms. But overall, I like the originality of this level, and the villains featured are some of the best as well. In the number 10 spot, we have Monster Marsh. This level overall is pretty solid. The swamp theme is spooky and atmospheric, but it's also really nice looking. And I love how you start off in a massive shipwreck. It sets this mysterious tone for the whole level. It tries to be a bit different, but still sticks to the basic formula. Apart from one section. Whilst it isn't incredibly long or anything like that, there is a section that drags on for ages because you have to stay inside this bubble or else the swamp will damage you. This completely slows down the pace of the level and it's quite annoying. But luckily the other parts of the level do outweigh it. Oh yeah, Hedwig is still here, so that's just great. Bang in the middle for this ranking, we have Willikin Workshop. Willikin Village from Giants is easily one of the best levels in the series. So the Willikins coming back for this level was incredibly nostalgic. From the incredible remaster of the Willikin Village theme, to just actually having Willikins to talk to, probably brought back some fond memories for fans. But this level isn't just all about nostalgia. It's actually one of the more unique levels in the game. This entire workshop actually used to be Chaos's, because as we all know, he was the one that actually created the Willikins because he was lonely. I mean, I'm trying to feel bad for him, but I really just can't. But now Dr. Crankcase has taken over the workshop and is making evil Willikin soldiers. You go from this really cool section where you have to use moving trains as platforms to going inside the factory with those really annoying enemies, and then finally the long walk up to Crankcase's lair. The level is really memorable and is overall just a really good time, but goddamn, those enemies are so annoying. For the love of God, just stop spinning. Lair of the Golden Queen is a pretty cool level. I mean, first of all, it has my favourite boss in the series in the name. And second, whilst this level acts like the ultimate weapon in the fact that it's a massive build up to a fight, Lair of the Golden Queen is a much more interesting level. The music is very ominous and intense, and the actual setting of the lair is dark and mysterious. When you're going through the lair, not only will you find traps lying around, but it's also heavily guarded by some really difficult enemies like the eyeball dragon. And the level even has a brand new mechanic. Throughout the level there are these weird eye watchers. If you get caught by one, it'll set you back in the level. It's not a mind-bending concept, and it's pretty easy to avoid them, but these eyes do make the level more unique. And then at the final segment of the level, when you walk up the massive staircase, oh, it's so cinematic. And then you got the Golden Queen, who is a pretty good boss. At number 7, we have Know-It-All Islands. As a second level in the game, Know-It-All Islands is a pretty great introductory level. It shows off some other mechanics that Soda Springs didn't teach you, like keys and gates, throwing bombs and turret sections. But if you look at it as a level by itself, I mean, yeah, it's okay. The level is nice, bright and colourful. My only problem is that it's a bit too short, and introductory level or not, it's way too simple. For instance, the boulders in that one section were completely underutilised and the puzzles were far too basic. But still a decent level anyway. Moving on. At number 6, we have the absolute classic that is Soda Springs. 2 years ago when I made my ranking every first level in Skylanders, Soda Springs was at number 1, and my opinion on that still hasn't changed. But do me a favour and please do not watch that. It's a very simple but fun and open level that's quite interesting to explore. It is the shortest level in the game, but that kinda works in Soda Springs' favour. And I know that a lot of people don't like the fact that you don't fight the Gulper in this level, but I think it's pretty cool that the level is built around him. It's not really a big problem, but I just find it weird that this level of all levels has 4 elemental gates. And all of the gates are basically in the exact same place. I just find that very strange. Overall, there aren't really many problems I have with this level because it's straight up just good. Just making it to the top 5 spot, I have Secret Sewers of Supreme Stink. That alliteration is on point. Ever since the first time I played Trap Team, this level had always stood out to me. It just feels so different from the rest of the levels in this game. Right from the very start, this level looks absolutely incredible. I know that sounds odd, since we're outside of a massive sewer system, but this is one of the best looking levels in the game. And all of the music in this level is incredibly dark and honestly kinda scary. And when you finally get into the sewers, you're greeted to a whole civilization of fish monsters that have been quarantining inside the sewage system. Damn, that hit quite close to home. It's really fun to explore the sewers, which isn't something I thought I'd be saying. And I love how you're always going from inside to outside to inside. It makes the level always feel fresh. It's just a really smart idea for a level, and they pulled it off pretty well. But on to number 4. Just missing out on my top 3, we have Chef Zeppelin. Out of all of the vast different level themes in Trap Team, platforming through a kitchen zeppelin run by Chef Pepperjack is easily one of the coolest ones. You start the level off with a surprisingly good tower section. I like it because the enemies and cannons that you're blasting are actually part of the level, which means that before you even get onto the zeppelin, you already see all of the different places you'll be going. And speaking of places, the level design and platforming fits the zeppelin aesthetic perfectly. This level is definitely a fan favourite because it's just so unique from the others and has a really good soundtrack. And then you get inside the zeppelin and it's just a massive kitchen. There's even a fire gate where you have to bake bread to make it into platforms, which is such a cool mechanic. After some boring Skystones matches, we finally confront the chef, which is a pretty good boss fight. This level is just really fun from start to end. But now on to number 3. In third place today, I have Sky Highlands. I'm sure a lot of people are incredibly surprised right now because I've said on multiple occasions that this level is my favourite. Quite the plot twist, am I right? Whilst I still think this level is great, the more I play it, the more I realise that it doesn't deserve to be first place. I think this level is really engaging and fun. And that's why I really dislike how many times you're stopped when playing through just to have a match of Skystones or to hop in a turret. These always feel so forced, like they were deliberately trying to make the level a little bit longer with these boring sections. They completely ruin the fast pace of the level and I'm not a fan. I am a huge sucker for the start of the level though. You hop into the Archean jet from Skylanders Giants, which is a really nice reference, but you can also freely fly around the level, which I think is really cool. Not only is it cool to blast enemies, but the open 3D environment just works so well with it. It really is just such an epic moment in the game. And then when you finish the section, you actually get onto the level itself. Yet another thing this level does differently from the others is the fact that you're always going up. Basically you're dropped off at the bottom and you have to work your way up until you get to Typhon Crow. This level being the 4th last in the game is quite challenging as well. I'm not oblivious to the flaws here, but I still love this level anyway. Moving on to number 2. In second place, we have the almighty Chompy Mountain. This level is incredible. This level screams Skylanders Trap Team. If you mention Trap Team, I will probably think about this level. But it also gives me faint Giants vibes as well. I can't really explain that though. But one thing this level does bring back from Giants is the infamous Chompy Mage. And I have to say he's just as charming in this level as he was back in Willikin Village. There is so much variety in this level and it's easily one of the most fun in the series. And you really do go on a journey in this level. It's obvious from the start that you're going to be climbing up that big Chompy mountain. And when you finally get to the top, wow, it's really cool. And we can't forget that extremely difficult Chompy Mage fight. Like, did the developers forget that this was level 3 or something? Chompy Mountain is just oozing with personality and charm, and a lot of those qualities really haven't been matched by any other level. I just really want more Chompy themed levels. Chompy Jungle, Chompy Shores, where you at? But anyway, with no further ado, let's hop on to my favourite level in Skylanders Trap Team. Okay, so this might come as a shock to some people, but my favourite level in this game is Phoenix Sanctuary. This is by far the best looking level in the game. It's so bright, vibrant and colourful, which is something that I always love in a level. Even just the small things like how the flowers sprout when you plant them, I absolutely adore. And the music, oh, it's fantastic. In the main theme, you can sometimes hear small parts of Perilous Pastures, which is one of the coolest little details about this level. Not only that, but the level is just insanely cool. Some of these secrets are very cleverly placed. Annoying, but clever. The second half of the level when you get inside the tree is nowhere near as interesting or good looking, but hey, I don't object. While it did take a few playthroughs of the level for it to really click, I do love this level a whole lot. It just looks so good. Well, I think that about wraps things up. Well, you know what? I had a lot more fun ranking this than I expected, and I do hope you guys enjoyed. But until next time, it's been me, Cryptcuster, and I will see you. What the hell?